Namaskaram. Shri Mahaganapatiye Namah. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Welcome to today's humble samarpanam on Mayilpeeli. Today we shall chant, learn and understand the meanings of Narayaneeyam Dasakam 72. Let us first chant the sloka and then understand the meaning. Dasakam 72 talks about the coming of Akrura. Akrura, a Yadava who was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, arrives as an emissary of King Kamsa to invite Krishna and Balarama to the bow sacrifice conducted by King Kamsa at Mathura. Dashakam 72 Sloka 1. Kamsota narada gira vrajavasinam tvam akarnya dirna hrudayasya hi gandhineyam आहूय कार्मुकमकच्चलतो भवन्तं आनेतुमेन महिनो दहिनाथशायिन्. O Lord, reclining on Adishesha, the king of serpents, on learning from Narada about your residing in Braja, Kamsa, with heart trembling in fear, summoned Akrura, the son of Gandhini, and deputed him to fetch you to Mathura on the pretext of inviting you to a bow sacrifice. Kamsa came to know from Narada that Krishna, who is the avatar of Vishnu, who is the Lord seated on Adishesh, the king of serpents, was residing in Vraja of Brindavan. Kamsa's heart was filled with fear as soon as he heard this, and immediately he called for Akrura, the son of Gandhini, and sent him to Krishna under the pretext of inviting him to witness the bow worshipping festival or the bow sacrifice that would take place in Mathura. Dashakam 72 Sloka 2. Akrura esha bhavadangri paraschiraya tvaddarshanakshamamanakshitipalabhitya tasyagnyayaiva punarikshitummadhya tasvam Anandhabaramati bhuritaram bhabara. O Lord, Akrura, who was devoted to you since long, but was not able to see you owing to the fear of Kamsa, now felt immense joy on being sent to Brindavan to see you, and that too the instructions came from Kamsa himself. Akrura was a great devotee of Krishna, was feeling very sad that he could not meet Krishna due to the fear of Kamsa. But now, when Kamsa himself summoned him to go to Brindavan and fetch Krishna to Mathura, he was immensely happy, and that he got this opportunity to meet Krishna, whom he was wanting to see for long. Dashakam 72 Sloka 3. Soyam ratena sukriti bhavato nivasam gachan manoratha ganam svai dharyamanam asvadhayan muhurapaya bhayena daivam samprarthayan patina kinchidapi vyajanat. Bhattadri says, O Lord, Akrura, who had accumulated merits by good deeds, was wholly oblivious of the external world and his surroundings while proceeding to Brindavan in a chariot, due to his mind being totally absorbed in anticipation of the forthcoming meeting with you, and repeatedly going over his pleasant thoughts about you and praying to God all the time to remove all obstacles to the coming meeting. Here we understand that all through the way Akrura was praying and thinking about his meeting Krishna, and his joy knew no bounds. He prayed and wished that no obstacles come in the way until he meets Krishna. Akrura was a very devout person, and his love for Krishna was very deep, and he had, due to his good deeds, accumulated a lot of merits. Dashakam 72 Sloka 4. Dakshyami veda shatagita gatim pumamsam Sprakshyami kim svidapi nama parishvajeyam Kim bhakshyate sakalu mam kvanu vikshitasyad Ittam ninaya sabhavan mayameva margam. All through the journey, Akrura's thoughts were centered on you, such as Shall I be able to see that Supreme Being who has been sung about by numerous Vedic hymns and is the goal of all Vedas? Shall I be able to touch him and embrace him? What will he say to me? Where indeed am I likely to see him, etc., says Bhattadri. All along the way, Akrura was immersed in Krishna's thoughts alone. He was thinking about his meeting with Krishna, which was his dream, and the same is going to be reality soon. He was wondering how, where, and when the meeting would take place. He was happy, overwhelmed, and stressed all at the same time. Dasakam 72, Sloka 5. Bhuyakramadabhivishan bhavadangriputam Brindavanam haravirincha surabhivandyam Anandamagna iva lagna iva pramohe Kim dashantaramavapapna pankajaksha. O Lord, thereafter, as he gradually entered Brindavan, sanctified by your lotus feet and worshipped by even Shiva, Brahma, and other gods, he was, as it were, completely immersed in bliss or under a spell. O lotus-eyed Lord, what states of ecstasy did he not experience then? Asks Bhattadri. Here we understand that as Akrura entered Brindavan, which is the holy land sanctified by the lotus feet of Krishna, he experienced supreme bliss and was transported to another realm, and it looked like he was in a trance. Such was the ecstasy experienced by Akrura. Dasakam 72, Sloka 6. Pashyanna vandadabhavad vihrutistalani pamsushvaveshtatabhavad charanankiteshu Kim brumahe bahujana hi tadapi jataha Evam tu bhakti tarala virala paratman. O Lord, Akrura saluted the spots where you did all your sports. He rolled in the dust which bore the imprints of your feet. O Supreme Being, what shall I say? In those days too, there were many people on the earth, but very few indeed, whose devotion was comparable in intensity with that of Akrura, says Bhattadri. Akrura's state was beyond description. He was so overwhelmed with joy as he stepped on the land of Brindavan, where Krishna performed all his leelas, and Akrura rolled and revered the dust of Brindavan, where Krishna's footprints were imprinted. Dasakam 72, Sloka 7. Sayam sagopa bhavanani bhavacharitra Geetamrita prasuta karna rasayanani Pashyan pramoda sariteva kilohyamano Gachan bhavad bhavana sannidhiman vayasit. O Lord, Akrura approached your abode towards dusk, as if borne on the flood of ecstasy welling up within him on seeing the houses of the Gopas, from which flowed nectarine music of songs describing your sportive deeds, which was a treat to his ears, says Bhattadri. Dasakam 72, Sloka 8. Tavad dadarsha pashudoha vilokalolam bhaktotamagatimeva pratipalayantam bhoman bhavantamayamagrajavantamantaha brahmanubhutirasasindhumivodvamantam. O Lord, Akrura then cited you, O all-pervading one, in the company of Balarama, watching with deep interest the milking of the cows and looking as if you were awaiting the coming of your great devotee. Your form seemed to infuse his mind with the ecstatic experience of bliss absolute, says Bhattadri. Akrura reaches Nandabhavan and saw Krishna and Balaram, who were watching the milking of cows with deep interest, and it also looked like Krishna was eagerly waiting for his devout guest Akrura to arrive. Dasakam 72, Sloka 9. Sayantanal Lavash Vishesha Vivikta Gatrau Dvaupita Nila Ruchiram Baralobhaniyau Nati Prapancha Druta Bhushana Charu Veshau Mandasmitadravadanav sayuvam dadarsha. O Lord, Akrura saw you and Balaram both neat and tidy after the evening bath, dressed in beautiful yellow and blue garments respectively, wearing a few ornaments and looking charming in appearance. A soft smile played on both your gentle faces, says Bhattadri. Dasakam 72, Sloka 10. Duradratat samavaruhya namantamenam उत्ताप्य भक्तकुलमौलिमतोपगूहन् हर्षान्विताक्षरगिरा कुशलानुयोगी पाणिं प्रगृह्य सबलोतगृहं निनेय. O Lord, espying from a distance that foremost devotee of yours alighting from his chariot and prostrating before you, you lifted him up and embraced him with great pleasure, and inquiring about his welfare with a few words, you led him by the hand to your residence, accompanied by Balarama, says Bhattadri. Here we understand that Krishna welcomed his staunch devotee Akrura and led him along with Balaram. Dasakam 72, Sloka 11. Nandena sakamamita dharamarchya itva tam yadavam taduditam nishamayya vartam gopeshu bhupati nideshakatam nivedya nana kata birihatena nishamanaishihi. O Lord, after doing the honors to the Yadava Akrura along with Nandagopa and being apprised by him of the command of King Kamsa, which you communicated to the Gopas, you then spent the night conversing with Akrura on a variety of topics, says Bhattadri. With Nandagopa, Krishna very respectfully honored the Yadava Akrura and listened to the message of his mission. Krishna, after communicating the reason of Akrura's arrival into Brindavan to the Vrajvasis, sat with Akrura and discussed a whole lot of topics within him. Dasakam 72, Sloka 12. Chandra gruhe kimuta chandra baga gruhenu radha gruhenu bhavane kimu maitra vrinde durto vilambhata iti pramadha biruchaihi ashankito nishi marutpuranatha payaha. O Lord, in the meanwhile, the Gopika damsels imagined you of deceitfully spending the night with one or the other of your several beloveds, such as Chandra, Chandrabhaga, Radha or Mitra Vrinda. O Lord of Gurubhyo, may you protect me, prays Bhattadri. That night Krishna failed to meet the Gopikas. The ladies suspected that the rascal that Krishna was, he may be tarrying in the house of Chandra or Chandrabhaga or Radha or Mitra Vrinda in the night. Hare Krishna. Govinda Nama Sankirtanam. Govinda Govinda. Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Shri Haraye Namah. Shri Haraye Namah. Shri Haraye Namah.